heavy defense because I do think Brandon Beane, their GM, he's kind of a defensive. He can be a little cocky, and that's easy to pick on. The media, we all like, myself included, we like stories handed to us, and he handed a few to us. But I like their offensive personnel. It's an offensive league. And when you start paying quarterbacks big-time money like Josh Allen, you got to get cheap on defense. I mean, that's what the Rams have tried to do. That's what the Chiefs let go of Trent McDuffie. They're paying Mahomes. You got to get young and cheap on defense. Seattle had to let go of players they like. That's the name of the game. And I think the Bills have enough offense now with DJ Moore to win a Super Bowl. I like what they did. And I really love...
Let's not overcomplicate things. Let's just focus on the Buffalo Bills. Honestly, I really like what the Buffalo Bills have put together as we speak. Without any question, they have committed fully, 100%, to rebuilding their defense throughout this draft. They traded away their first-round selection and simply continued to pile up more and more draft capital. This is exactly what I mentioned previously. Look, I tend to be very offense-oriented, and from time to time I have to check myself because I analyze everything through such an offensive lens, specifically a quarterback-centered lens. I am offense. I am driven by offensive football. That is my one tendency that occasionally forces me to admit, you can't make everything about offense. And my inner voice says, I know, but I love it. Then another voice says, I understand, but come on. However, the defensive side of the ball. On one hand, you have the offense, and I promise I will get to the defense in a moment. But let's talk about Josh Allen. As you all know, I believe Josh Allen is the finest quarterback in the entire NFL. Not because I think it, because I know it. That's just a fact. And naturally you start wondering, what can the Bills do to support that? What can they do to make his job easier? Well, they already acquired DJ Moore, which is excellent. Still, there was this lingering notion that the passing attack was genuinely struggling. They simply did not have wide receivers capable of generating significant yards after the catch. They couldn't really push the ball downfield effectively. There were so many moments where there was simply nowhere to move the football. Josh Allen kept searching for the big play because he understood he needed to produce explosive play after explosive play. We witnessed him turn into Superman and all that. But there were also plenty of games where the defense was clearly dreadful. A complete liability for the Buffalo Bills. You just think to yourself, if only you could get more competent defensive performance, there you go. Not to mention their defensive depth for years now has been terrible. Every single time a player goes down, no matter who it is, you immediately think, well, it's over. Whoever checks into the game to replace him, it's finished. This has happened consistently. And whoever stepped in to replace whoever, just pick any name you want, got exposed immediately. Attacked right away. Whether against the Ravens, the Chiefs, or the Broncos, zero depth. And now they are loading up. Stockpiling talent. Bringing in young players with a new defensive coordinator to shape exactly the way they want. And listen, I believe DJ Moore was a fantastic acquisition. If you think that adding DJ Moore creates this trickle-down effect across the entire offense, a more stabilizing, more balanced defensive approach, then you go all in on some young defensive talent. Because I know, when I live-streamed the other round, the first round, everyone was shouting off. Ents, offense, offense. We were looking at some intriguing wide receivers, Amari Cooper, Boston, all these different names. And I get it. When you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, there is a sense that this could be great, right? If you get that target, if you get that piece on offense, you can go to work. I made the argument that the Chiefs need that absolute go-to security blanket for Patrick Mahomes. That was my entire argument. But here is the difference. Andy Reid and Mahomes, you give them an elite offensive talent, and I am convinced that if they handed them a Sadiq or a Jeremiah Love, the synergy and the ability to skyrocket would be, to me, can't miss. I trust the Chiefs to find that talent late in later rounds and have Spags coach them up. So I don't necessarily have the same level of conviction with the Buffalo Bills. Therefore, I do like them just piling up picks, just saying, we are bringing in an entire new wave of talent, especially on defense, because that has been a true weakness for us in a way that I didn't necessarily see for the Kansas City Chiefs. And especially now you have a new coordinator. It is a completely different situation, right? Not all situations are created equal. So I do appreciate the focus on defense, even though my mind, especially the other night, was definitely very much like, oh, what about this guy? What about that guy? I start thinking, it's freezing cold, it's December, he's got big hands, he's strong, okay, I see some red zone. Touchdowns from 8 yards out. I like it, I like it. And listen, a part of me still wants some of those offensive toys. And you know what? Once we start getting into these later rounds, I'll tell you right now, nobody ever wants to say this out loud because everyone acts like an expert, everyone acts like a super genius. Guys, this is an absolute roll of the dice when you look at all these prospects. I'm telling you, the vast majority of people have no idea who any of these players are. I guarantee you there are people literally working for other franchises who don't even know who all these guys are. It's hard to keep up. There's a reason why in the second round, the third round, the fourth round, the fifth round, the chances of them becoming legitimate contributors just go down and down and down. So, you know, it's a coin flip. But I do feel, for the first time in a long time, that the Buffalo Bills actually have a plan. I talked about this the other day. They are actually navigating that plan, actually executing it. They know they need bodies. They know they need to round out this roster. They know they need to fill out this roster. And I think they've made very smart moves toward that goal, getting TJ Parker, getting a cornerback with Davison. Then in the fourth round, they got pick 101. Then they got what I think is the 25th pick, 125. I think that's all they have in the fourth round, right? Then they have another 2 picks in the fifth, and after that it's just pick. Man, who knows? But they need that depth. They need that depth. They need to be able to weather some storms. This defense needs to be remolded. It's going to be a different scheme from what Sean McDermott was running, so it just needs to be reworked. And so, I like what they're doing. I do get it. I understand that when you are a quarterback like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, you want the pieces that work directly with you. You want those pieces that work directly with them. When you draft a Jeremiah Love or a Mekhi Lemon or something, your mind can automatically see what that offense will look like, what that quarterback will be able to do with them, what the offensive coordinator will be able to do. You see it very clearly. It becomes a lot less clear when you say, oh, we're trading out of the first round, we're going to get 3 or 4 extra picks, we're going to take a cornerback, we're going to take a defensive player, we're going to take an edge rusher. You just think, okay. And that's what happens when you are such a forward-facing, top-heavy Josh Allen team. Also when you have someone like Cook and Allen and others, your mind also goes to, what if we add one more piece? Who's stopping this team? So sometimes you do have to pull back from that a little bit. It can be hard. But I think all in all, from what I've seen so far, what the Buffalo Bills have done seems pretty smart. It will really come down to, do they hit on those later rounds? Are they hits in the second, third, fourth, fifth, and beyond? Are they smart picks? And I keep emphasizing this on all my draft videos, everyone is very confident. Everyone is very, very confident about something working or not working. If you want to have a good time, go read the comment section, not only on my videos but on other videos or posts that just say, so-and-so was drafted. It's almost always 50-50. Oh, this guy's awful. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Oh, so-and-so is cooking. Oh, they're about to take over. Then click and see who is saying it, and you realize, oh, this is just some random person. This person has no idea. I was reading one comment, I won't say what team or what player, but they said, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable, it's the greatest thing ever. I looked into it, saw who it was, and thought, I don't think this guy knows anything about anything. So when you just read the comments at face value, it's kind of crazy. It's crazy. I'm seeing it on the videos I'm making and reading the comments. Everything is just so extreme. The draft is like the ultimate extreme. This is absolutely amazing. This is the worst move I've ever seen. No one ever says, yeah, I think this is pretty good. No one says, I'm excited to see where this can go and what this can turn into. It's always, oh my gosh, you're a fool, can't believe you just wasted a pick, or oh my gosh, they just won the draft. So, you know, it's a wait-and-see situation, which no one ever likes to hear. But that's the reality of the draft. It's a wait-and-see situation when you're drafting as many picks as the Buffalo Bills are right now, and where they need to round out this roster. The Buffalo Bills are the ultimate wait-and-see right now. They are the ultimate wait-and-see. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you all think about the Buffalo Bills and how the draft process has unfolded for them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you as part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we are really excited to be part of. I think we are well on our way to doing that. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.